discovering Muse's role in the Marvel Universe. Hey there, Marvel fans! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of superheroes and villains. If you're like me, always on the lookout for intriguing characters lurking in the shadows of the Marvel Universe, then you're in for a treat. Today, we're uncovering the mysterious and chilling figure known as Muse. The Marvel Universe is vast and ever-expanding, filled with legendary heroes like Spider-Man and Captain America, but also teeming with lesser-known characters who have a significant impact on the stories we love. Muse is one such character, a villain who brings a unique blend of artistry and horror to the table. In this video, we'll explore Muse's origins, delve into his complex personality, and understand his role in some key story arcs. Whether you're a die-hard Daredevil fan, or just curious about some of Marvel's darker corners, stick around. Hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel content, and let's get started on this thrilling journey into Muse's world. Origins of Muse. So who is Muse and where did he come from? Let's hop into our time machine and travel back to 2016 when Muse made his first appearance in Daredevil Vol. 5, number 11. Created by writer Charles Soule and artist Ron Garney, Muse was introduced as a new adversary for Daredevil, marking a significant addition to the Man Without Fear's Rogues Gallery. At the time, Daredevil's narrative was taking a darker turn, with stories delving deeper into the gritty underbelly of New York City. The introduction of Muse fit perfectly into this setting. Soule, known for his compelling storytelling, and Garney, with his bold and dynamic art style, crafted a villain that stood out not just for his actions, but for his horrifying approach to them. Muse emerged in the comics as a serial killer with a twisted artistic flair. Unlike other villains motivated by power or vengeance, Muse was driven by his desire to create art, albeit in the most gruesome ways imaginable. He saw the world as his canvas and the people within it as mere tools for his masterpieces. Here was a villain who didn't just threaten lives, but challenged the very notion of morality and justice. Muse's presence compelled Daredevil to confront new ethical dilemmas and push the boundaries of what he was willing to do to stop such a menace. By introducing Muse, Soule and Garney added a fresh layer to the Daredevil mythos, providing readers with a villain who was not only physically dangerous, but also psychologically unsettling. Muse's origins set the stage for some of the most intense and thought-provoking storylines in recent Marvel history. Muse's character profile. Now that we've uncovered where Muse comes from, let's take a closer look at who he is. Muse is often depicted as a lanky figure draped in dark, tattered clothing that gives him an almost spectral presence. His most distinguishing feature is his pure white mask, completely featureless, which adds to his eerie and enigmatic aura. This mask not only conceals his identity, but also symbolizes the blank canvas upon which he projects his dark creativity. Muse is a unique blend of artist and madman. He possesses an obsessive passion for art, believing that true art must evoke powerful emotions, regardless of the methods used to create it. To him, the ends always justify the means. This drive leads him to commit heinous acts, using his victims as mediums or components in his macabre installations. Unlike many villains, Muse doesn't seek wealth, power, or domination. His sole motivation is the creation of what he deems perfect art. His obsession with art consumes every aspect of his being. He views himself as a misunderstood genius, pushing boundaries that society is too afraid to touch. Each act is a statement, designed to provoke thought, stir emotions, and, disturbingly, to inspire. His interactions with others are equally fascinating. He often speaks in poetic terms, referencing artistic concepts and criticizing society's inability to appreciate true beauty. To those who stand in his way, like Daredevil, he sees them not as enemies, but as critics who fail to understand his vision. Muse's obsession doesn't just define him, it drives the narrative forward. His actions force heroes to grapple with moral complexities and question their own definitions of justice. His presence elevates the stakes, turning confrontations into deeper explorations of ethics and the human psyche. Powers and abilities. Now let's get into what makes Muse a formidable adversary. Muse possesses physical attributes that surpass those of an average human. He's exceptionally agile and strong, able to move swiftly and silently, which aids in both his artistic endeavors and his confrontations with heroes like Daredevil. One of Muse's most significant abilities is his regenerative healing. Similar to characters like Wolverine or Deadpool, Muse can recover from injuries at an accelerated rate. This makes him extremely resilient in combat, allowing him to survive encounters that would incapacitate or kill others. Muse's mind is his most dangerous tool. He has a high level of intelligence and a twisted creativity that he applies to all his schemes. He's a master planner, capable of orchestrating complex scenarios that serve both his artistic vision and his strategic goals. Muse is adept at getting into the heads of his opponents. He uses symbolism and riddles in his work, leaving behind clues or messages that can unnerve or mislead those trying to stop him. Despite these abilities, Muse isn't invincible. His overconfidence and obsession with art can cloud his judgment. He may take unnecessary risks to achieve his vision, which can be exploited by savvy heroes. Key story arcs involving Muse. Time to delve into some of the most gripping storylines where Muse takes center stage. One of Muse's most significant appearances is during the Supreme storyline in Daredevil Volume 5. In this arc, Muse embarks on a killing spree targeting Inhumans, using their remains to craft disturbing art installations. His actions not only attract the attention of Daredevil, but also the Inhuman community, creating a complex web of conflict. Muse's killings are more than just brutal. They're statements. Each piece he creates is left in a public space, challenging viewers and authorities to confront uncomfortable truths. Muse's encounter with Samuel Chung, aka Blindspot, Daredevil's young protege, is a chilling confrontation. Muse brutally blinds Blindspot, leaving him without his sight. This act isn't just physically devastating, it symbolizes a loss of vision in a broader sense, impacting Blindspot's role as a hero and his relationship with Daredevil. Muse's actions ripple beyond Hell's Kitchen. His crimes spark tensions between humans and Inhumans, complicate Daredevil's crusade against crime, and even challenge the legal system's ability to deal with superhuman threats. Throughout these arcs, the battles between Muse and Daredevil are as much mental as they are physical. Muse constantly provokes Daredevil, pushing him to his limits and forcing him to confront his own demons. Resolution and legacy. While Muse is ultimately defeated, his influence lingers. The scars he leaves, both literal and metaphorical, affect the characters long after the story concludes. Blindspot's blinding leads to new story directions, and Daredevil is left to grapple with the ethical complexities that Muse's crimes brought to light. Muse's artistic crimes. Now let's examine the chilling crux of Muse's character, his artistic crimes. Muse doesn't simply commit crimes, he crafts them. Each act is a meticulously planned piece of art designed to send a message. He uses the bodies of his victims, sometimes entire groups, to create sculptures and installations that are as horrifying as they are visually striking. The themes in Muse's work often revolve around societal flaws, hypocrisy, and the failures he perceives in the justice system. By using Inhumans in his art, for instance, he comments on how society views those who are different. His installations are left in public spaces, forcing everyday people to confront the macabre displays. It's not just about the victims, it's about unsettling the fabric of society. Muse's crimes have a psychological component. They are designed to taunt law enforcement and heroes, challenging them to understand his art, and in doing so, understand him. The communities within the Marvel Universe are deeply affected by Muse's actions. There's a pervasive sense of dread, and trust in the authorities wavers as Muse continues to evade capture. Muse's actions force characters and readers alike to ponder difficult questions. Is there a limit to artistic expression? Can art be used to justify immoral acts? Muse's impact on other characters. Muse doesn't exist in a vacuum. His actions have profound effects on those around him. For Matt Murdock, Muse is more than just another villain to defeat. Muse challenges Daredevil's moral compass and forces him to question his methods. The severity and nature of Muse's crimes push Daredevil to consider how far he's willing to go to stop evil. Perhaps the most direct impact is on Blindspot, whose encounter with Muse leaves him blinded. This tragic event alters Blindspot's path, affecting his role as a hero and his personal life. It introduces themes of loss, adaptation, and resilience. Muse's actions disrupt the usual dynamics between heroes and law enforcement. His unpredictable nature and the gruesome spectacle of his crimes put immense pressure on both groups. Muse's disregard for traditional criminal motives sets him apart, even among villains. The civilians in the Marvel Universe feel the ripple effects of Muse's terror. Trust in heroes and the system is shaken, creating a climate of fear and uncertainty. Muse serves as a catalyst for change, pushing characters out of their comfort zones and forcing them to evolve. Thematic analysis. Let's delve into the themes that Muse's character brings to the forefront of Marvel storytelling. Muse embodies the extreme of artistic pursuit without moral consideration. His actions raise questions about the ethical limits of art. Muse forces characters and readers to grapple with this dilemma. The trope of the mad artist is central to Muse's character. He blurs the line between creativity and insanity, prompting discussions about mental health and the consequences of obsession unchecked by societal norms. Muse's artworks serve as a dark mirror to society. Through his macabre creations, he critiques social issues, such as the treatment of marginalized groups like the Inhumans. Muse's crimes push heroes to their limits, questioning their definitions of justice and the effectiveness of their methods. Muse's installations involve the public, making them unwilling participants in his art. This inclusion raises questions about the role of the observer in art and the impact of art on society. Muse in other media. So, has Muse made the leap from comics to other forms of media? As of now, Muse hasn't appeared in Marvel's cinematic universe or television series. However, with the ever-growing expansion of Marvel adaptations, there's always potential for his character to be introduced in future projects. Given the success of darker, more mature-themed series like Daredevil on Netflix, Muse could be an excellent addition to shake things up. His complex personality and the psychological horror elements he brings would offer fresh narrative possibilities. Fans have expressed interest in seeing Muse on screen, and various forums buzz with casting suggestions and storyline ideas. Fan reception and critique. Let's talk about how Muse has been received by the Marvel community. Many fans appreciate Muse for adding a new layer of depth and darkness to the Daredevil series. His unique motivations and unsettling methods set him apart from typical villains, making him a memorable and thought-provoking character. Critics have praised the creativity behind Muse's character design and storytelling, highlighting the way he challenges both heroes and readers to consider deeper ethical questions. Some readers find Muse's gruesome crimes to be intense, potentially pushing the boundaries of what they're comfortable with in a comic book. Despite mixed feelings about his methods, Muse is generally regarded as a successful addition to Marvel's roster of villains. Conclusion. And that wraps up our deep dive into the enigmatic world of Muse. We've journeyed through his chilling origins, unraveled the complexities of his character, and explored the profound impact he's had on the Marvel Universe. Muse isn't just another villain, he's a catalyst for thought-provoking storytelling, challenging heroes and readers alike to question the nature of art, morality, and justice. Whether you find him fascinating, terrifying, or a bit of both, there's no denying that Muse adds a unique flavor to Marvel's rich tapestry of characters. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow Marvel enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth looks at your favorite characters. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the pages and screens of the Marvel Universe. Excelsior!